Hello world, and welcome back to Minecraft Memoir. This is episode 43. In the last episode, we went on a bit of an adventure. We found a whole bunch of snow, picked a bunch of that up, and then we looked at some various glitches of this version, and then finished that off by finishing the trim on our Aleph library. Let me head over there. So in between episodes, we didn't really do anything. The only thing I have to note is that I actually had to roll back the world here. Um, so it's probably 5 days after I posted the last video. So between now and then, I was just doing a bunch of test building in my test world. Some of it was for this, but I'm still trying to do this kind of raw without planning. So a lot of the building was just other stuff. However, while I was doing other stuff, I, for some reason, just left myself in my inventory like this. I usually like to do that and just stand nearby the mob farm, but I was right up here. There was no reason to do that. And of course, the only mob that could do damage, i.e. creeper, came up and blew up on me, making the lava in here pour down, and it burned a good section of the interior. It wasn't so crazy that I was like, oh man, I should totally record this. But it started burning that front wall, and I was like, nah, I'm not dealing with that. And I just rolled it back because I ended up making a backup like a day after I posted the video. I have been doing a bit of brainstorming for up here though, and so what I think we're going to do today is finish her up and build the barn. So I'm thinking it's going to be a pretty stone barn. I assume the walls will be either cobblestone or stone, and then the roof will be the opposite. I think we should use some brick because we haven't used brick basically anywhere else. And I feel like that red color, lends itself to a barn design pretty well. So I don't know if we're going to do like the walls out of brick, or maybe we'll do some windows, but those will definitely be present. And then I'm thinking the interior, it's just going to be a barn, and barns are generally like a pentagonal prism. I think that's correct, where the ends are pentagons and then it's just a long straight in between them. So I think we're going to do is have like a staircase inside that leads to just a platform in the middle that has the nether portal. I don't know, this is unfortunately on an odd level, or an odd number. Yeah, this way and this way. It is a 13 by 31. Which, side note, I think is pretty cool because 31 and 13 are switched. But unfortunately, a nether portal needs to be built on an even number for it to be centered. So either we're going to have it like pressed against a wall, or maybe we'll do two of them, or we just won't care and we'll put it uneven and just deal with it until we can ultimately change that nether portal in like one of the way later full release updates. I also think, since it's going to be a barn, I've been trying to figure out where I'll put like the silos, because every barn needs a silo. And this like empty space here isn't really useful, and it's only present on this side, this little strip of green. So I think we'll do a silo there and one here. And then these, like long sections, will be kind of the walkways up and into the barn. Yes, I'm getting myself confused. There's a lot of things I'm juggling here. Also, the clouds being right in my face is so annoying. So I might raise up the floor level for the inside of the barn. However, oh, that's the last thing I wanted to mention. So we're at Y108.62. I really got to figure out a way to like normalize saying those coordinates, because like the Y level is wrong. I keep mentioning that. So should I just say 108.62, or should I say 108? Or should I do that mental subtraction and be like, actually, we're at y 107.62? Or wait, just regular y 107. Regardless, that means that we can build up another 21 blocks. So we do have a bit of height left, but we can't do anything crazy tall. Actually, the silos might be the biggest problem. And okay, I am glad that I decided to pause because this actually gave me a lot of trouble. I spent like the last hour just kind of messing around, and this is what I came out with. I think it does indeed make sense. I kind of just started out with putting cobblestone on the walls, but I think I'll leave it like that and then make the roof stone because I prefer less texture on the roof, especially in this case. I think it'll look better. But I wasn't really sure. Like, it feels like the body is too tall. You can see I like shortened the windows and the door one. So now there's like 2 empty blocks here. And I might do another, actually. But I don't know. I really don't want to rebuild that roof. And I think it's at a good height. So maybe I'll try to find some like happy medium. But I think it looks good enough that I can mirror this on the other side and figure out what I want to do officially, like while I'm building the other side. Dude, I misclicked one of these slabs underneath it, and I tried breaking it and catching it, and it fell, and I was like, whatever, I'll just keep building. One short. But anyway, the roof is done. So now I'm just going to work on the front and back face. So here's what I've decided on for the entrance. A few notes from my design here. So I haven't finished this door. I think I'm going to put some logs in, make it look a little heftier, and maybe redo this because the entranceway in is still only 1 block, and I was hoping it would be a little more than that. On top of that, I haven't done this front, like under the roof section, but I think we're going to do design with like glass and glowstone, or, you know, again, glowstone when we get it, but wool and torches for now. But since I've got this sort of framed out, I can now move on to the sides. I'm not sure how much space we have here, so I'm assuming we'll be able to fit in maybe 3 or 4 windows, and I'll put them at like regular intervals. We'll either have like 4, let's see. So it looks like we got like 20-ish blocks here. So I might be able to squeeze 4 in, or we'll do like 1 smaller window on the ends and then a big one in the middle. All right, so did a bit of building here. I changed up this door. I brought this line back 1 and gave them some like wooden decorations. And I'm okay with this look now. The width here didn't change at all, but it's still wide enough, and it makes, you know, these doors look pretty heavy. I got the sides kind of laid out. I was initially thinking I would have to make this middle window a bit larger. However, the side sections are only 2, and the windows are 5 wide. And then there's 2, another 5, 2, another 5. So they're all the same size, and I like that. The big window I just don't think would look good. Like, having them all the same size, they're still kind of basic, but they'll have some nice decoration on them. So it's not supposed to be some, like, grand barn. It's just a barn that's touched up. So I think I'm still going to mess around with this and come back when I have a good like side window design. So after placing these windows, I was trying to figure out how deep I wanted the glass to be and how tall I wanted them to be. And I'm thinking I do kind of prefer the inset window look. However, I think I'm going to go with it in line with the brick because I want there to be enough space in there to like put up some stone walls. I feel like the inside needs to be a bit smaller than it currently is. So there needs to be enough space for that. I also think we're going to go with the 4 block tall windows. The 3x3 is just not utilizing enough of this flat space. I actually might have to put like another window above it, in which case these might need to come out more actually. So something completely random I discovered here while I was working. I noticed there was a glitch where sometimes my footsteps would be duplicated. Here, actually, I'm gonna turn off the music for this. I noticed that my footsteps were being duplicated, but I couldn't figure out how. And it's, I think if you run on the edge of a block, you don't hear my footsteps playing. And then when I step onto a normal block, they all play like all at once. I think it's because my body is more over this than this. And so it's making the footstep sound of being in the air, which is nothing. Okay, so after looking at some reference images of like other barns and old stone buildings, this is what I came up with, and it doesn't look very good, so I'm gonna change it. What I was seeing in those references just I don't think come across well in cubes. So I'm gonna extend this overhang like at least 2 more blocks, and then I'm gonna make it curve from the middle down. And I think one way we can do that is actually by using iron doors. You need 6 for each side, so that's what these are for. But yeah, I'm gonna put like some iron doors there and there, and then make these overhangs a little longer. I also think I need to place some blocks on the window itself because it's just too much glass. So I think I'm gonna do like some slats or maybe just some regular stone blocks. But I need something to break up this glass. Okay, and finally, I've got the other side put on. So the shell of this place is complete, except for, I'll show you the backside. Very nice, very nice, the same thing. Except for this, I haven't put this door in. I feel like I want to fill in this room some with like other stone materials, because I'm not really sure if I want the brick to be visible from the inside. So I might cover that, and in covering that, I might as well like cover the other walls with random designs. So I'm not really sure what I want to do with this door, if I want to make it open or closed, and then maybe like make a small way in, even if it is closed. So I'm not sure what I want to do for this interior as far as the portal goes. So I know I said I wasn't going to do this in a test world, but I think I'm going to mock up something like this so I can at least figure out the interior, because I just don't want to waste all those materials. I can see myself using a lot of smooth stone, and I just don't want to have to like re-smelt all of it. So I went a bit crazy here, and I pretty much just finished the interior. However, I managed to stop myself before I finished everything. So let's go in here. It's very cramped. That's the first thing, but I'm okay with it. the very least I got this like stairwell put in, and the way that it is cramped, it looks kind of intentional. So it's maximizing the space we've gotten here. I changed up the door a little bit to make this entrance less weird, because you have to like come in and then immediately hook a right and go up the stairs. I totally had to look at my hands to see if that was the correct left or right. So, you know, some nice railings. This stone thing is pretty random. I just put up like some beams, and then these guys kind of follow the curves of the windows. And then right here is where we'll put our portal, but I want to show down here first. There is a big enough gap that you can get through here, and this side is a little easier. Then just a small room down here. And then finally, this is the opposite door. And there's a door in the door. It's supposed to look like it's closed, and that the stairs are like where it juts in, because that's where like the two halves are sealing. So if you look at it from an angle, you can't even see the door. Oh. Actually, that's probably fine. So, let me go grab the obsidian, and then we can put the portal in. You can see here, I've got a stack and a half of obsidian. I actually pre-mined all of this last night as well. I figured if I can't do any more building, I might as well do some resource grinding. I'm thinking that the portal is going to take us 75 pieces of obsidian. And you might be thinking like, whoa, that's crazy. A regular portal only needs like 10 to 14 blocks, depending on if you want the corners. But this is not a regular portal. I was encountering an issue. I think I said this already. This whole barn is on an odd number, but a portal is typically built, it's a 4 by 5. So obviously that 4 doesn't work. So instead, this is what I think we're going to do. Oh boy, I better not misclick, because I don't have a diamond pick on me. Let's see. I can't remember if I did the corners, so I'm gonna not. So in an effort to combat the even numbers, I was like, oh, I could build 2 portals right next to each other if they share like this inner stem, and I think this will work. I'm actually not sure, so we might end up building this and it just completely fail. Yeah, this looks pretty good. And it looks like a trinket, like a large relic of some sort. So I think that's kind of cool. Oh, okay. And there we go. Oh, that looks actually really cool, because the particle effects are flowing both ways. That's very neat. Okay. So I'm thinking I'm going to put like some obsidian kind of above and below. And then maybe just dress up this roof. And then the inside of the barn will be done. All right. And here we are with the final internal design. I'm going to place some wool to get up. Oh boy. Okay, that's in the way. But I didn't really change much. I put some little step-ups into these portals, and put some wool where I want glowstone to go. And then I put a beam across, a little light fixture. So this, space is a little less empty now. I feel like I want to put something on the walls, maybe some paintings, because they are pretty bare. But I think we'll leave it like this for now. So, we're going to have to go into the Nether at some point soon, but I don't think we're going to do that in today's episode. Instead, I've got a few things I want to build. Firstly, before we go and do something else, the exterior here is obviously not done. I mapped out where maybe the silos will be going, and it looks like they fit well here, but I don't know. I might actually put them on this backside and actually use them as the tubes for the mob farm on the inside. I don't know if you can see, but I swapped it out with glass. So it's just a big glass ball, and it's going to run this way, which means that it'll probably break out right here, which would be a good spot for him. On top of that, we need to, again, put a shell over top of this. And finally, we need to make like a good way of getting in here. I think one way up will be through here. But I also think we'll put like a bridge of some sort extending to right there. And then there will be some way to get up on that platform. Because we might end up using that as like an actual walkway or traversable space in the future. And then there will probably be another way up over there. So we'll do all of that later. Let's figure out what we're going to work on now. So we're going to go out and look for a good spot to do some building. Of course, it turned nighttime, like as soon as I wanted to go out and do that. So instead of riding this rail, we're just going to run so it's a little slower and so I can talk to you. So I've mentioned in the past that I want to build various ruins around this world, and I want them to kind of hint at a deeper story and just kind of make you question like what's going on in the world. And so I've been doing a bunch of building in my test world, and I've got a ton of various builds of just like weird ruins, but they all look really good, so I want to do one of them in the world here today. Now, before we start doing it, I was replying to a comment last night from a user named GetGood, GetGood420, or 8491 question mark. Yeah. And they were talking about how when I reach 100 subs, it might be an interesting idea to make a test world, but like multiplayer world, so we could all work on it together and like throw ideas back at one another. And I think that's a really good idea. But it brings up the question of, do I want people seeing all of like the sneaky things that I'm building in the background? And I think for the most part, I'll probably just keep my own test world separate from like what we build on this world, but I'd still be totally willing to build on like a multiplayer test world, because that'd also be fun to like learn different building styles. It might not be like sneaky things that I'm going to put in the world here, but ooh, it will at the very least like expand my building knowledge. And who knows, I might end up just using it for test builds for this world. It might get to the point where I just don't really care, and I just prefer workshopping things to other people more than I like keeping it a secret. Oh, okay. So I was running over this way. We're like on the bridge here, and there's that nice flat uh, piece of beach there, and actually just a bit of regular land. And that's perfect for what I want to build. So let's set up over there. I might actually just start building the first part of it, because I don't want to like give it away too much until you see it. So here's what I've got built so far. You come up on it and you're like, what? What is this? Just like a weird cobblestone bean looking thing. But then you climb on top. Mm-hmm. Maybe that doesn't come across very well. Let me stack up a bit. It's a giant, like, cobblestone hand. So next I'm gonna build its partner. I think somewhere over there. So unfortunately, I lost the in-between clip, but the partner is completed. Here it is. It looks really good. This is like palm side down, so that one over there is palm side up. And as such, I think I'm gonna have a tree grow on this one as well, but it'll have to be like in between the fingers, either here or here. You can see the grass is grown, so I built this quite a while ago, because I also built the third thing for this whole build, the thing to wrap it all together, a head. So let me come over this way. Here it is. I had to rebuild this twice because the first time it was just too far forward, and the second time I kind of just messed up with the position of this plate. So first time was much more work though. Uh, so here it looks. I think it looks pretty good. I made this design in my test world, and this design gave me a whole bunch of trouble. As it is, it's actually like a rotated version of that design. So it still comes across because it's all just cubes, but like I wanted there to be a stair step for the nose. So I still put the stair step there because I thought it looked good. I preferred it over just a regular block. But yeah, this as compared to the hands is much more hollow. I can break open the front here. Oh, okay. I guess I didn't torch it up very well in there. Okay, well that's something I need to do. I also need to build up a little bit of this landscape still. It looks like it could just like tip and fall down the beach. I want it to be more like it's resting its head. Wow, that view is so nice. We haven't really seen the bridge from this angle, but it looks great. I wish I could take a screenshot, but that doesn't exist in this version yet. To finish off this little beach area, what I think we need to do is put in some pathways. I want there to be one maybe that reaches around the front of this hand and comes this way. Maybe we'll put in some seats, some like campfires, some other stuff. I basically just want to make this area look like people visit and like sit around and ponder the stone head. All right, so as the sun is rising here, I figured we will ride the minecart down and I'll explain some of this build. So firstly, I don't know if you can really notice, but I had to terraform this area a ton. Specifically this little area here, I built up the dirt a whole bunch. It used to be like sand all the way back, but you couldn't really like build on sand like the way I wanted to, IRL. So I just switched it out with dirt. I put in this little pathway here. I made it kind of just go anywhere it seemed right. Like there's one that goes around the hand here and under the bridge. It just kind of disappears there. I put in a little, well, I put in a tree here. It hasn't grown yet. So I hope this is the right configuration so it'll actually grow, but grow tall. So anyway, you'll walk down here. I put a little bit of a fence up. It's not supposed to be like keeping people out. I'm thinking of it more as like a beach supporting fence, especially since it's right by the like little slope here. I threw in some chairs, some reeds anywhere it looked like kind of empty. I don't love the dirt. Like, I wish I could plant it on reeds, or not on reeds, on sand. But I think the reeds look better than like a full sand beach, so I'm okay with it. I put some flowers here and there, made this nice little stream. That pathway also just kind of ends. Inside the hand here, so I was talking to Tetrisbit again, and according to them, triple chests actually won't be an issue until like full release 1.12. I haven't confirmed that for myself, so I'll have to like look into it. But if that's true, then what I thought would be kind of neat is to hide triple chests around the world as like little Easter eggs. I haven't put anything in them, and I'm not sure if I will, but nonetheless, they're pretty neat. And then finally, I put a little seating area up here, because I feel like a lot of people would sit by the head. This is supposed to be a fire pit. This area isn't completely finished. There's actually one last thing I want to build, but I definitely need glowstone before I can even attempt making it. On top of that, we need a little bit of netherrack for this fire here. So, and I also want to put some glowstone, I think behind the eyes here, like wherever that block is in that block. So we need like 8 blocks for this whole head. It doesn't really look like those stairs are the eyes. It kind of looks like this smooth stone is, which it's not supposed to be. That's supposed to be like the cheeks, like right below the eyes. And those are supposed to be closed eyelids. But doesn't come across very well. So hopefully next episode, or the episode after that, we can go to the Nether and finally stock up on glowstone and netherrack. I think in between this episode and next, or just next episode, we'll finish up anything related to the library. Maybe not anything related to the library, but at the very least we'll make it so that we can navigate that area and use the nether portals. So, that's the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.